Teddy, here's your close-up. Gizzy had hers, Muffet had hers, and now here's yours. Teddy is 4 years old, and we got him when Muffet's companion Brutus died, when he passed away. Not to replace Brutus, but because, you know, to fill the sadness. And man, you've brought us so much joy. Okay, one kiss. Okay, you can be released. Okay, so today I decided to do the video in the powder room. You've seen every other video, pretty much every other room in my house except for the upstairs bathrooms. So I thought, let's change it up a bit. Anyway, today I am, got something, a hair, Teddy's hair. Today I am going to continue my saga of my lifelong story. And for those of you who are new to my channel, I have different kinds of variety. I'll do challenges and interviews, but one of the themes from the whole time of I think I've made about 120 some videos, that whole time has been my life story, because it is very strange and with a lot of adventures. And so actually, the biggest adventure of all is about to come, and it's gonna get weird. So, but I don't know if the weirdness will start in this video. I think that it's just the prelude to the great weirdness. Okay, so we left off when Jose and I had been spending 2 weeks in Kenya. The first week was with a pastor in Nairobi, like near Nairobi, and then the second week was in 45 minutes from Nairobi. It's in a place called Kitengela. And anyway, the whole time that we were there, we were thinking how much we would love if God would say, live here. And it was impossible. It seemed impossible for us ever to move there. With 4 kids, 2 dogs, you know, it seemed impossible. But we were, God, is this what you want? And honestly, God started to speak on the way home. And the way he spoke, the confirmation, because the whole time we were there, I had been thinking how much I would love to learn Swahili. Because I've studied Spanish. I'm not good at languages. It took me 30 years to get so I feel like I'm kind of fluent. But because I started learning in 1983, and it's just now that I feel confident and I can understand when people speak, although I still have to stop them if they're speaking too fast. But anyway, back on track. The whole time I was there, I was thinking, I wish I knew Swahili. So here we are on the plane ride back with this in our hearts, saying, what do you want, God? And you know what? All of a sudden I glanced down, and on the magazine in front of me, it said in big letters, Swahili. Because it was advertising Rosetta Stone, and it just happened to be the language that they were advertising. And you know, I took that, we both took that as a confirmation that God was saying, ask me more, you know, ask me more. I do want you to live there. And so, while our kids were absolutely shocked when we got home and we broke this to them, but they were kind of thinking how it would be an adventure, and all except Lexi. She had a real hard time, because she was just gonna be turning 16, and that's a difficult time to change up your life. But anyway, it all turned out for good in the end. So we started to ask God. We started to really, say, do you want us to, how do we go about this? We don't have any money. We hardly know anybody over there. Well, God started to speak to us the steps. Like he first showed us Kitengela was where he wanted us to end up. The one that's 45 minutes from Nairobi. And then, we purchased the Rosetta Stone, and I was the one, nobody else had it on their heart, but I religiously was learning Swahili, and as I said, it doesn't come easy, so, but I I was faithful and I tried. Okay, so anyway, but then, so let me fast forward to Christmas time, because we went, our first trip was February 2004. And then near Christmas, actually Christmas, we made a newsletter. Now, the way that we work is that we've never felt it, for us, it never felt comfortable to ask people for money, ever. We, unless God really put it on our hearts, you know, but we would always just ask him, and then he would provide. That's how God has spoken in our life. Sometimes, you know, he doesn't changes it up, and it ends out a little different, that we might share with one person here or whatever, and ask them to help us pray for that thing or whatever. But usually it's just ask God and keep your mouth shut. So we made a newsletter telling of our dreams, but not asking anybody for anything. And to save money, we took it to church. When we took a whole stack of them to church and just handed them out to people. Well, this is the first big thing that happened. What happened was, this man who we had never even hardly spoken to, just hi or whatever, you know, in passing, a very quiet man. We'd never heard him even hardly open up his mouth. After he had read the newsletter in church, before church, he came to us shaking, and he stood before us and he said, God spoke to me. And he said, God told me that you need $5,000 at this time. And he said, and this man was not rich. He said, and I believe that I'm supposed to give you 1,000 of those dollars. And we were like in shock. And I was embarrassed, because it's humbling, and it's not easy to receive. Receiving is a difficult thing, you know. And anyway, and he said, to further embarrass me, he said, well, he wasn't trying to embarrass me. He said, and I believe that I am supposed to go up to the front of the church with you and ask people to help donate until we reach $5,000. That was shocking and embarrassing. Anyway, so we went to the pastor, he felt, and I just had my head down the whole time. I was so embarrassed. And he then said, you know, what I just explained. And the pastor said, okay, you can go to the front and, you know, you can speak. And so we went to the front, and the whole time I could not look out at the congregation because I felt so embarrassed. And whether that's right or wrong, I don't know. I don't know if it's, anyway, maybe that's pride. I don't know. But anyway, and then guess what? People felt touched, because I guess they had read the newsletter, and we ended up leaving with $5,000. And that was, we're so grateful. We're so great. We were so, and we are so grateful. And we felt that what we were supposed to do with that particular money, because we prayed for about every cent of it, was that Jose was supposed to go by himself this time, because now it was 1 year later. And since we had been there, we went February 2004, and we booked tickets for him to go in February 2005. And he went over there and did some more speaking engagements, but his main purpose of going over there was to rent us a home, and where we were going to land in Kitengela. Well, that's all for now, and the saga will continue sometime. And good news, Denville said that he wants to speak. He wants to be kind of regular on on my channel, and two people sent us questions, and the first question, we're going to film it on Wednesday. So that's all for now, and I love you guys. Bye.